Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hucker's Hideout. And as you can tell, the town is bumping, lots going on. But today we are going to talk about the good old inventory. And so, something I wanted to kind of describe to you guys was how the overall, inventory works. So, if you just press Tab, you'll be able to access your inventory. You will start out as an avatar, auxilia avatar, so it'll look kind of like this, and it'll kind of have a setup like this. You might not have all of these little slots filled yet. We have a couple little extra items here that I kind of wanted to go through. And so when you start, you will simply have only these items up here. And so you will spawn in with a crude short sword, as well as a shield and some basic armor, the auxilia helmet, chest armor, and leg armor. But there's a few other slots. And so you can see there's the common bottoms, which is clothing, protect you against cold weather. Also, some common garments for your chest, and this will protect you from the cold as well. There's also a quiver slot, and so you can put in a total of 30 arrows into this little spot. And if you don't, you can see that they only stack in stacks of 5. So this definitely lets you hold a couple more arrows. And then you can have a bow or a bronze knife or even a torch if you want. And so the reason that I held them in these little slots, I'll kind of spread them out here, is so that you can kind of see where they line up with your bottom hotbar. And so this down here is the automatic hotkeys that get assigned. You can't really change these. And you can see they're signified by these little belt icons. They're like your little belt slots on your little inventory here. And so once we have that assigned, you can simply press 1. And when you do that, you will pull out your weapon or whatever you're changing it to. So if we're changing it to the knife, press 6. You can see the knife will pop out, and the item will pop into the closest slot to the front, basically. So if we press 2, the knife will just replace it. But if we press 8 on the torch, boop, you'll see that we pull the torch out and the shield goes in the 3 slot. And so if we want to switch back to the shield, press 3 and we will pull the shield back out, which is very nice. And now we are ready to battle. You may also have noticed that there are these 2 slots right here, R and F. And so those ones are for equipping and unequipping your main hand and your secondary hand. And they're signified by main hand here, secondary hand here. They kind of have a little icon, like something would go in there. But yeah, there are single-handed items as well as two-handed items. And so a two-handed item would be something like a bow. And when you equip a bow, you can see it fills in both slots. And if you switch to your shield, you will just put the bow away and only get the shield out. And so that's kind of how the inventory works. And the final little slot here is the silver slot. And so your silver will stack in here. I haven't seen a limit to the top of this. I haven't got above 1,000, or maybe a couple thousand. But yeah, that's kind of how the silver slots work. Maybe the cap is 9,000. I'm not 9,999. I also wanted to discuss a little other couple secrets with the inventory that you may have noticed. I was moving things around. Dragging and dropping does work. You can also put things into storage simply by getting on the storage screen here. And when you do this, you can right click and it'll place one item in at a time. You see, we can click all the way till there is no silver. And then when we shift right click, we will get a stack of 30. And that works for any item. It'll give you a stack of 30, kind of, that's what your inventory stacks up to. And so that's kind of how that goes. These inventories will stack a little bigger. We'll get into that in other videos. But yeah, that's kind of how you can use your little right and left clicks, because alternatively, left clicking doesn't work as well. And so you're going to have to learn to use a lot of left clicking and left click dragging. If you left click drag an item like this, it will replace it easily for you. So you can do that if you're more comfortable drag dropping. Yeah, but that's kind of the simple little thing to pull your item out. I also wanted to talk about why I'm pulling my item out instantly. And so if we go into the settings options here, we can go into keybinds, or just gameplay, excuse me, and you can see that the auto arm equipped items is currently on. And so that means every time that I equip an item, I will automatically arm it into my hand. And so this works sometimes. You might get a little comfortable with it, but in the heat of battle, sometimes it can be your death, because when you're running around, you may want to, switch from your bow to your sword, and you may be running from enemies, and then you switch, and it'll just stop you like that. You definitely walk slower with the sword. and a bow equipped, then just nothing in your hands. You'll move around a lot quicker, just like this. And so that is an option to turn off. I would recommend switching it to the off position. But yeah, whatever your preference is, that's the way you like to go. And now when we run around, you can see we can just switch the weapon and nothing happens. Same with the shield. Now we can switch to the torch versus the shield. You can just see them changing on my back a little bit. And yeah, so that's kind of a simple way to change your inventory management a little bit. A little couple advanced tips. We'll get into more advanced tips later. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I did. We'll see you all next time on the next great video. Have a good day.